and Tim here from Scouting Wire. Best ruffies in the business. So Tim had a bit of a tough week in the old sports tips last week.
Yeah, mate.
Lucky the racing side of things held up its bargain this weekend, eh?
We'll just roll with the punches and they're on again this week.
Yeah, plenty going on in the world of sport as well. We've got the NRL, AFL, big World Cup starting in the football, and we've also got a golf tip this week as well.
Yeah, we do.
Dabbling in the golf. Right, let's start with the NRL, Timo. So there's a couple you like there. Panthers, Roosters. You got the Panthers at $2.
Yeah, look, the Roosters are finding a bit of form, but the Panthers, I think, have been the red-hot team this year. They smoked the Dragons the other week. They look good. Wallace retired through the week. He hasn't really been playing much, so that won't affect him. But I think they'll lift for him this week. And at $2.05, I think that's a pretty handy bet.
Yeah, sounds good to me. All right, and the next one you like in the NRL is the Titans over the Bulldogs. The Titans at $2.20.
Yeah, we backed the Bulldogs last week. They were atrocious. They got every chance to win the game. They fell short. Really like the Titans here. They got 3 extra days instead of the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are on the short backup. Don't really like teams on the short backup, and the Gold Coast are at $2.20, which is good value.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm going to wait till the last game of the round. I like Canberra at $2.05 to beat the West Tigers.
Yep.
West Tigers are on a bit of a slippery dip at the moment. They were a bit unlucky last week against Cronulla. A couple of calls went against them, but yeah, they're struggling for form at the moment, the Tigers. And I just think they're struggling to fit Josh Reynolds in.
Yeah.
Benji's injured. He's been playing good. He's out. So I like the Canberra Raiders to do the West Tigers at $2.05.
They've got a big in this week too. They've got that Josh Hodgson back, first game this year. They rushed him straight in the starting lineup, so obviously he's been training well.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, let's move on to the AFL. So I've been in touch with my man Shannon again. Thanks, Shannon, for the tips. He likes West Coast at $2.50 versus Sydney Swans. It's in Sydney, that's why you're getting $2.50 at the West Coast. A couple of big ins for the West Coast this week as well in the team list, so that bolsters them, and they don't get to play at the SCG very often. Yeah. So I'm going to take the $2.50 about the West Coast. Sydney have been good, patchy but good, and I like the $2.50. And also Shannon's tipped us Geelong versus Richmond. Geelong at $2.60. Yep. We tipped Richmond last week at some good odds, and Dustin Martin didn't play. Yeah, Dustin Johnson's the golf coming up. Dustin Martin didn't play, and it showed how much they rely on him. So you can bet your bottom dollar if he's named out, that price will come in for Geelong. Yep. So take the $2.60 while you can. All right, speaking of golf, Timo, and Dustin Johnson, you like him in the US Open this week?
I spoke to him in the golf. He's very into it. Dustin Johnson, he won last week. He's in pretty good form. And I went through the odds, and you're getting a nice, juicy $3.60 to be top 5. So he doesn't have to win, just come top 5. And I think that's pretty good value there as well.
Yeah, sounds like good to me. And we're looking at best Aussie market as well.
Yeah, Mark Leishman at $4.30. He's not the most extravagant player, but he always hits it straight. And a lot of the other Aussies in the market are pretty up and down in their form recently. So he hits it straight and should be in it for a long shot.
Yeah, Adam Scott just sacked his caddy.
Yeah.
Jason Day's been very hot and cold, battling injury, and Mark Leishman's been Mr. Steady Eddie on the US tour. So yeah, the $4.30 about him finishing the best Aussie is pretty good to me. All right, and finally, as we said, the World Cup's kicking off in Russia Friday night. The first game is Russia versus Saudi Arabia. We're going to steer clear of that one. Yeah. That's got fixing written all over it for the Russians. Tim, you like a bit of a smoky in the tournament, Nigeria.
Yeah, I really do. I watched them play England the other day. They got beat 2-1. They're littered with Premier League stars. And I think they're roughly around $5.50, which is pretty good value, I think.
Yeah, so they play Croatia first game of their pool. Nigeria $5.50 to beat Croatia, so that's not too bad. You've also tipped a smoky in Group H, which is Senegal's group. You like Senegal, $3.30 to beat Poland.
Yeah, look, Senegal won the other morning. They looked pretty good. Sadio Mane out front. They've got pace in their front three. They look very dangerous. Poland have been hot and cold. They'll win, they'll lose. And I just think they'll rely too much on Lewandowski. I think if they can shut him down, I think they're in big trouble.
Yeah, fair enough. And I found one in the first match day one. South Korea, $4 to beat Sweden. We tipped South Korea to finish second in their group. Sweden have been pretty disappointing the last couple of home friendlies, 2-0 all draws. So I'll take Son Heung-min for South Korea to do the business over Sweden at $4. All right, Timo. So yeah, as we said, big weekend in sport. Goes from Friday right through until about Wednesday, I think, is our last tip. So stay tuned for some more during the week as the soccer games pop up and the odds change. We'll let you guys know. And Saturday night we'll be cheering on the Aussies against France.
Yep, hopefully we get the big W there. They're great odds too as well. Australia $13 if you want to have a little double.
Yeah, can't tip them, but I'll be having a bit of a double on them. All right, guys. Good luck for the weekend and happy punting.
And game responsibly. Thank you.